I'm cruising along the Columbia River Gorge, and this is a pretty spectacular overlook of the river. See that nice green field down below there. I'm just using the cell phone camera, so don't be overly impressed with the images. Can't quite tell what that is out in the field over there. I'd like to think it's like deer or elk or something. But yeah, nicely maintained field down below. And there's a little rock out in the channel, out in the middle of the river there. From what I understand, a lot of times when you see a rock spire like that, it's a harder rock, and that it might be a remnant of volcanic activity. If you look way up here, you see another rock spire coming up, which could also be another piece of volcanic activity. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place to stop and take a look. It's also kind of a narrow road to be stopped on too. And just to give you a look of where we are, it's a pretty steep, straight down hillside. You would not want to fall here. It's actually kind of creepy standing right here on the edge of it. And there's somebody blocking traffic. People do the darndest things around here. Let me run over here and get a look at this bridge that I'm about to cross. I don't know why people feel they have to express their artwork like that. So yeah, that's kind of a interesting bridge. I guess that's what they had to do to get along here. And you see the steep rock face right next to it. So yeah, I fail to see how that paint improves anything. Okay, let's get hopping. Incidentally, this is Cape Horn is the stop. So we're looking at the information board on Beacon Rock, and for thousands of years, travelers on the Columbia River marked their progress by Beacon Rock. For downriver travelers, the rock signified the end of the rapids and the beginning of the tidal influences of the Pacific Ocean. Beacon Rock's importance as landmark to area tribes is reflected in their name for the rock, Chi-Chi-Optin, meaning the navel of the world. Members of the Lewis and Clark expedition also named the rock. William Clark described it as a remarkable high detached rock and gave it the names Beaton Rock and Beacon Rock. And you can walk up the rock. A descendant of Nicholas Biddle, the first editor of the Journals of Lewis and Clark, bought Beacon Rock in 1915 and built a trail to the summit. Henry Biddle's project took 2.5 years, resulting in a 4,500-foot-long trail. Today, there are 52 hairpin turns and 22 wooden bridges. Henry's children, Spencer, Rebecca Biddle, donated Beacon Rock to Washington State in 1935. So here is an old 1909 picture of Beacon Rock. October 31st, 1805, a remarkable high detached rock stands in a bottom of the starred side near the lower point of this island on the starred side. inside, about 800 feet high and 400 paces around, we call the Beaten Rock, William Clark. And the theory behind it is just the young pup. Beacon Rock is new in the neighborhood. Most of the surrounding rock is millions of years old, but Beacon Rock is only 57,000 years old, just a youngster. Geologists believe the rock is the solidified core of a volcano. The soft outer layers that once surrounded this volcano were washed away by the Ice Age floods, leaving behind this wonder. So that's pretty cool information. And here you see the map of the Lewis and Clark Trail. I believe this is covering the first and second expeditions. But leaving from Washington, D.C. and then going west, young man, head west. This is in Fort Clatsop, near Astoria, Oregon. So yeah, if you haven't seen this before, it's interesting. I don't know why the image is jumping around in my camera. Hopefully it's not in the video. And this is the Beacon Rock State Park day use area. It's pretty, nicely maintained. You cannot see Beacon Rock from here unless it's right behind the truck camper there, in the center of the frame top. Okay, I'm gonna get myself a quick walk in around the area and then continue on my way. I just turned around here briefly, and that was Beacon Rock. You turn up the exposure a little bit so we can actually see it. And you see the truck camper at the bottom, and the rock is probably about a mile away from here. So I am just walking along the nature trail at the Beacon Rock State Park day use area. So I'm gonna just continue along. You hear the train off in the distance. It's on the Oregon side. And I'm at the east end of the field now. Way over there is where I started. So it's got a really nice nature walk here. You can just hear the train going by in the background. The train is straight ahead of me. If you look quick, you can just see it. Oh, there goes the tail engine. So, yeah, that tower right there, I think it's some sort of a radar target for maritime activity. And so I'm nearing the end of the trail. Got to go up here and around the bend to the left, and that will lead me back to over there. Alright, I just finished a very heart-healthy 1 mile or so walk around the grounds of Beacon Rock State Park. I highly recommend this as a stop if you are driving along the Washington State side of the Columbia River. Lots of interesting informational reader boards along the path, and just a really nice place to go out, get a breeze. And the ranger informs me that you can pick the blackberries up to about 2 gallons per person per day, and the blackberries are in season right now. So if you are looking for blackberries, the day use area at Beacon Rock State Park is your hot ticket. So I am going to get out of the parking lot here. Let me show you just a quick look-see around the parking lot. It's always funny, you look at the cell phone picture and your eyes are going off to the right. So you look at the lens of the camera and then it looks like you're looking straight at the camera, but you can't really, you have to see your face in the peripheral vision. So here is a look around. I'm just kind of guessing what we are looking at because now I can't see the viewfinder. And if you look in here, I think we will see multiple images of ourselves, if I line that up right. Okay, so enough playing around. I'm gonna hit the road. I've still got a couple hours of drive time and I want to hit the Bonneville Dam and show you that. And yes, this is a good heart-healthy walk. Got a little bit of a sweat worked up. It's maybe 70 degrees out right now. Cloudy, overcast. Fortunately, I did not get rained on. Okay, see you in the next segment. Okay, this was what I wanted to show, is what is going on with my video viewfinder. 5 full hookups up this way. That's the railroad bridge. And then there are 2 standard campsites down this way. So standard must mean no electrical. Now there used to be a couple of campsites down here that had power and hookups. So I don't know if they have derated those or what. I think that the campsites down here were intended for the boaters, because I think this is the launch area is over here. Yeah, so we can drive down this. And there are 2 disabled parking spots for boaters. Looks like somebody has made a 3rd one over there. Vehicles with trailers only, no camping. And this here is the boat launch, and that is a steep boat launch. And that's at least a 30-degree, 25-degree slope. Little picnic area here, a couple tables and barbecue platforms. And these are the 2 campsites over here. 1 and 2. So I thought there used to be a few more, but I could be wrong. Over there, I thought those were another couple of campsites there, and it has no camping posted there. Okay, we are going to hit the road now. There's just one more thing I want to show you up ahead here, the bridge over the railroad tracks. And that's the day use area entrance there. And now we are coming up to the bridge over the railroad tracks. I just liked the simple concrete wrought iron or metal structure of it. But so there you go. But isn't that a nice little bridge? And if you look down here, you see the Burlington Northern tracks. And there's the tracks there. And now we are, let's see, built 2007. So now we are going to get back on the highway. I think it's Highway 14 or something. Okay, let me shut this off. Well, I was going to drive out to the dam and have a look-see. This is Coyote Ridge Road off of Cascade Drive, and there is the freeway overpass there. And unfortunately, I can't get through there, so I will turn around. This was the North Bonneville exit off the freeway, got me to this. This is the Bonneville Dam, and I found a way in. It's the next exit to the east. So it looks like all the spillways are open, which I don't know if you see that all the time or not, but it means that they are trying to get rid of a lot of water. And then right there, I believe that is the salmon fish ladder. So I have that initial jump up into the ladder. And that is also a congregating point for sea lions, which come up here and just chow on salmon. Not a good thing, because it's a concentration point and the seals have discovered it and they are taking advantage of it. I'd rather have the salmon and the killer whales than too many seals. Seals are important too, but killer whales I think are a little more important. So that is it. I'm going to take a look up at the visitor center quickly. Don't want to use up my entire day. And I'm also running low on memory on the phone here. Okay, let me cut this and go to the next scene. Well, I could not go in and see the Bonneville Dam. It's federal property and you cannot bring firearms in there. And I have some rifles with me. We were going to go do some target shooting, so that's all right. I'll get it on another trip. Right now I am trying to make a phone call, so I have climbed to the peak of the barn, and it's one of the few places around here 4 stories high where I can catch a cell phone signal. So if you look way up here, there's some of the horses that live on the property. And there is Mount Adams hiding behind the clouds. And so I'm just up here making my phone call, taking a quick look. But yeah, I have to come up into this little cupola thing that seems to be where birds get in and poop. But it's a high point and it lets me get signal. Okay, gonna run, we're gonna barbecue.